Number 5. Okay, this is an interesting one. Let me just check to see if this student happens to be on the call. I believe he is. Now, here's the deal. Yes, he is on this call. Okay, I've scrubbed this information as best I can. It's pretty much a narrative in bullet form of a deal that this one particular student is working on. I want to share it with you, the narrative, so that you can all help this student with ideas. Now, we've been working on it. It's kind of coming about a different way, but I think this is a great topic for everybody to discuss. All right, here we go. All right, this particular property, man, why is this thing? Here we go. There we go. It's 3 off-market properties, and they all look like they're value-add propositions. The woman's husband died back in 2017, and she took over managing it in 2018. This is her first time doing so, and she's been learning on the job. Very messy financials, some apparent commingling of properties money in her QuickBooks-looking info. She said that there's steady income, low vacancy, and the rental increases are strong for this town, as is projected by Marcus and Millichap. She owns it free and clear. There's no debt on this property, but it's built in the 60s and the early 70s. And the other property that she owns, it's part of this package because it's a portfolio, appears to be 44% vacant, with one of the buildings maybe entirely empty. To go on, I'm not done yet. She wants to sell ASAP. She almost sounds desperate. The student got the whole backstory. Now, here's the thing. This woman has non-residential commercial properties that she's bought and sold a lot of, but doesn't know residential real estate. She prefers to do a straight-up sale, but she might be open to a master lease option, but her brother has a final decision. But it sounds like they won't commit to, okay, now this is important. They won't commit to any CapEx expenses, CapEx cash needed for the properties, which, as a student says, that may make an MLO moot if they won't pay for any CapEx, because you don't want to plow your own money into a property that you don't own. So what do we do? This is a new student. This will be his first deal. How should we proceed? Raj is saying next. Oh, Raj, I don't like that answer. I don't like that answer. Because think about it. This guy, new student, and nobody knows about this property except for the student. All right, let's see what else we got here. How close are the properties to each other? I think they're very close. They would not be considered within the same footprint, so you would not be able to get one mortgage on all properties. You'd have to get separate mortgages. Mike Butler is saying, get the deal under contract. Why, Mike? Why? This is his first deal, and he might not be able to close it. There's a lot of moving parts to this thing. Why should he get it under contract? I'm waiting for Butler. I was actually expecting Donald to start singing like, there came Brannigan, Flanagan, Milligan, Gilligan, Duffy, McDuffy, Malaki, Mahole, Rafferty, Lafferty, Donnelly, Connolly, Doolio, Madonna. Okay, you have to unmute me. Sorry, Mike. I do need to unmute you. He got this lead from the contractor that has a very good in with this woman. And so she really likes this contractor. Contractor brought my student in. And so that's how this whole thing came about. No broker, totally off market. Go ahead, Butler.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, how you doing?
Okay, good. Yeah, I think my headphones are shot. Only for the simple fact that he's the only one in the stand. He or she is the only one in the sandbox now. So if it's the numbers are reasonably close, it sounds like he or she may have time to dig into this a little deeper with the seller.
Okay, but I mean, the problem is pricing this thing because
Right.
44% vacancy in one property, one building's entirely empty. She's got questionable financials. This is obviously, it's a rehab, it's a repositioning, it's a lot of work, and this guy's got a full-time gig.
No cap deal.
What's that?
It's a no cap deal.
Right. So what do we do then? How are we going to finance this deal?
Well, it could be a bridge loan. She wants to put money in. I mean, there's a lot of creative ways to do it. It's all short-term lending until they get it stabilized.
Right. Right. So, I mean, but let's say, Mike, that this guy, it's just not within his wheelhouse to be able to pull something like that off.
Team up. Who is?
Okay. 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 This is good. This is very good because it just so happens that a former owner forum member is going to meet the student tomorrow and may be interested in doing a bird dog situation. But what you just said, Mike, is team up with another member on this forum, and as you can tell, I'm keeping this thing very close to the vest because he doesn't own anything on this. He doesn't have a contract on any of this, so I'm not disclosing it. But if someone is interested in maybe getting involved in this transaction, if this is something that they're looking to do, I mean, post it right here on the group chat, and this student is on this call right now, and he can see if you're interested. And look at maybe this student can see that Ashley might be interested. She's the construction maiden here, so Gertrude's interested. She's a wholesaler to me, and David Harrell. I'm sorry, David. I'm not going to disclose the state, but this student is going to see your question, David, and probably going to reach out to you privately. So I don't want to disclose a state on this call because we do have a couple of students working in this particular state. So
I think one last thing, Charlie, I think at the very least, if there's a long due diligence and they can't get hurt, you never know what might come up. I would go for it. There's no hands. You're not tied to it. You can always walk away in 30 days or whatever. You'd be surprised what presents itself. So go for it.
That is great advice. I love that advice, Mike, because now, even here, I'm sure the student is kind of, looking at what's going on here on this call. Region, David, refresh my memory because I apologize, but what state are you in? All right, and so waiting for David's answer. But Mike, I like your answer because if we can just lock Delaware, it's in the what do we call that? The Corn Belt. It's in the Midwest section, so in that area. But Michael, I like your answer because if we can just lock this thing up with an extended due diligence period, then we can get out there and start marking it for either wholesaling, flipping the contract, lining up the cash, doing anything we need to do if the deal tomorrow with the bird dogger doesn't work out. So that is, that is, and what we're doing here right now is we're helping this student with more competition for the guy tomorrow that he meets, so he can go out there with more confidence and say, "Hey, listen, I don't want to bird dog this deal to you for that price because I've got all these other people interested in possibly wholesaling the deal with me." So, what we're doing here is we're giving that student more options, and just I am leaving it at this. This is going to be the last slide of the night. We're coming in right on time, but what this student can see what's going on, and he can reach out to these people on WhatsApp and make it all happen. I agree with you, Mike. Hey, this student is busting his ass, and he's getting a lot of cool stuff going on. He's going to do it, and I don't want to see him lose this opportunity. This is a fun opportunity. This is a great way to make it happen. Bill, it's in a very good market. So it may be Class C because she's let this thing run down, but it could be one that could be repositioned to a B very easily because Marcus Millichap says this particular market is moving in the right direction. So that's another thing that's very interesting about this deal. So, the vacancy is the rents are moving up and the occupancy is moving up as well in this particular market. Everything is good about this market. That's why, this is what we look for, guys. We're looking for distressed sellers who just want out. And, that's what we're doing here.